fabric from the land of the five rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
We back. You already know what time it is.
Oh, you didn't know?
50-50.
Welcome to the 50-50 Show with PharoahNFL and the Severe Raider, the realest show for Raider Nation.
The perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
Make sure to clock in, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Hey, man, we back. We having some technical difficulties. I'll be back in a second. But my guy, man, Severe Raider in the building. Obviously, myself, PharoahNFL. We back at it, the 50-50 Show. We'll continue, man. We had to bring it back, man. Last couple weeks, we were on a little hiatus. If y'all checked out the around the Shield, obviously we were able to make that happen. But for some reason, 50-50 Show, it wasn't working out the last couple weeks. But we were able to get it back. We'll be able to talk about the Raiders today, obviously.
Yes, sir.
And a little draft talk, a little bit of. Ash and Jeanty, hey.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Hey, his second 100-yard game this season, few and far between, but at the end of the day, he was able to make it happen. We'll get into that. Man, everybody clocking in. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure to clock in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Man, we got everybody pulling up today. Let's see who we got. We got Raider. He said, "Good morning, man. Hey, This is the late night show, but this how late we be going these days. He's saying
morning
good morning.
somewhere.
Michael Smith, he know what the program is, man. He says late night Raider hype. Let's go. Yeah, yes, sir. Man, salute.
Salute.
Assassin Creed in the building says, "What up, nation?" Severe from man. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Night crew in the building, man. We see y'all. Yaya in the building, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man. We got everybody pulling up today, man. Let me see if I could
Yes, sir.
Comments up. But Severe, what's going on, bro? How you been?
All right, man. Good, man. You know, eventful weekend. We had the obviously we had the Joshua and with Jake Paul fight. Then we had Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley. Then Andrew Tate. I think he fought this weekend too. Got his ass whipped. So it's been
Andrew Tate fought?
Yeah, he fought. Yeah, he fought the same
against?
dude. You know the dude that fought Stevie Knight a few years back and beat Stevie Knight up. He fought that dude. I forget his name. It's like something more. I forget his name. But yeah,
I gotta look into that, man. I gotta look
into
that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he put tips on Andrew Tate.
Yeah, man.
And then Anderson Silva got a knockout win over Tyron Woodley at like 50.
Yeah.
And obviously, we was talking about the Dave Chappelle special that dropped.
Man, it was a few things kind of like popping out this weekend,
man.
But
it was a smooth weekend.
I guess before we get into the Raiders stuff, we could talk about some of the fights. I mean, I think we can both agree that we were disgusted by the Jake Paul fight the other day. For both fighters involved, man, it was terrible. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
You have to get up out of here with that one right there, man. What? I don't know what you on there, but
what? Pete Carroll said you. Oh man! I had to put my damn microphone out. Oh man! But yeah, man, it was disgusting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was that bad of a fight by design. Part of me feels that Joshua was carrying him, just to get a few rounds in, get people some, make the event last a little bit longer, and then once he really stepped on the gas in like the fifth, you can see him really start to hurt Paul, and then obviously he closed the show in the sixth with that devastating. Man, I was listening to a doctor talk about that punch and like how he broke his jaw. And dude ain't gonna be the same for a minute. He's just gonna take him like 6 to 9 months just to get like 90% of his jaw functionality back after the way he broke his jaw.
Damn,
yeah.
that serious like that? Like you can't recover from an injury like that?
Nah, because I guess because when you break your jaw, it cracks the teeth, so it cracks the root of the teeth. So those teeth got to come out. And then they're gonna have to put implants in, but it's gonna have to wait for the swelling to come down in the area as the bone heals in those spots for them to even put the implants in. Then that's gonna take a while in and of itself. And then just for you to be able to just to chew normally and everything like that, it's gonna be like they said a 6 to 9 month process. So I'm like, dang. Hey, but he made $92 million, so it's all worth it.
92 mil, man. 92 mil. I think he probably could buy a brand new jaw.
Exactly. He'll be all right.
But yeah, man, that was probably one of those, like I said the other day, like I think everybody was watching it because they wanted to see Jake Paul get knocked out, pretty much.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's pretty much what it was. I mean, it's not like we wanted him. I mean, it's kind of because a lot of people they don't like the fact that Jake Paul kind of is kind of putting a stain to boxing, to professional athletes or whatever. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. You said the Tate fight. I didn't see that. I got to check that out just to see what that was about. I didn't see none of that, but. The Chappelle stand-up for all my comedic fans.
Yeah.
Man, it was man, it was aight. It was aight. That's as best I'm gonna give it, man. I didn't really like it too much. I mean, as far as like, I didn't have any like ha 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 like memorable like moments watching it and just laughing. But you know, to each his own. Everybody, it's all subjective in the day. So I'm sure someone seen that for the first time is probably gonna be like dying laughing. I just seen so much Dave Chappelle where I'm like, the standard is like through the roof. But you know, it is what it is. Did you like the stand up?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, kind of like you said, I'm gonna have to watch it again. Because the only part I remember, like, you know, 'cause every day Chappelle stand up, you got those moments, those quotables that you can remember. And I was telling you, like, the only one I could really remember is the what he was talking about, like Martin Luther King. He's like, smash that like button, like and subscribe.
All right, and look, so you know, because you know, Chappelle, he's been coming out with a special since he's probably signed on with Netflix. It was funny too, because you're talking about like things that you like quotables that you remember. There was that joke. Remember, he was talking to his dad, and he wanted to.
He's like,
he wanted to get some tickets to something or buy something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he had to get the change out.
His dad said, "No, we ain't got the money." He's all like, "We ain't got money. $10. We ain't got."
He's like, "We broke." He's like, "No, we're not broke. We're poor."
Man, the way he said it with like the delivery, oh man, I was dying at that one for a cool.
Oh no, yeah. He's like, we ain't got $3. How are we alive, Dad? how are we alive?
We ain't got $3. Man, that was hilarious.
How are we alive?
But it made it so funny because that's something a kid would say. You know, something a kid would say and also think, and it was just hilarious.
But it's true though, like, bro, if you ain't got $3, bro, like, your budget is that tight where you can't spare $3. Or I remember how much it was. It was something crazy for this to go to the dance. That's wild. But yeah, but like this one wasn't as memorable as some of his other Netflix ones. But like I said, I gotta go back and watch it. I know you're talking about Stevie Wonder on stage looking like that Falcon, looking like the Hawk.
That was funny.
Yeah.
How he kind of talked about the Hawk. Where was he at? Like in Saudi Arabia? He was saying
Saudi Arabia, yeah.
And then I like how you connected that. That was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was cool. It was it's Chappelle at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We all know, hey, we it's a Raiders show, so we gonna get into the Raiders stuff. Man, the Raiders almost won, which kind of scared me. I'm not gonna lie. 23-21 is a little too close. Which I'm not gonna lie. Last two games of the season, the Giants and Chiefs, the way they're trending. Whew, man, it's looking tough as far as will the Raiders lose the right way. At this point, I don't care. We got to get that number one pick. And now, you know, watching that Texans game, the way they kind of competed and made that a game, they can easily win this game against the Giants. Will they? You know, I think the Giants have a way. They can easily beat the Raiders, especially if they dominate the line of scrimmage because their D-line is crazy. But, you know, like I said, man, like, you could have said the same about the Houston Texans. Yeah. Coming out and dominate them, and they look at the way they competed and almost made that a game. If it wasn't probably the difference in the game was the Geno Smith pick six. Yeah. If you think about it, like that was like the biggest difference. That was the pick six was pretty much the biggest difference in the game. I mean, CJ Stroud didn't really look all too good. I mean, I don't know what's going on with CJ Stroud. Like, he hasn't been the same since his rookie season. You probably can point to, like, you know, he has a defensive coach. He's kind of had a couple of offensive coordinators. Yeah. But he has guys on offense. I'm not going to lie. Like, he has the Dalton Schultz. He has the Nico Collins. And I know they drafted a couple of guys this year. You know, he had the other receiver that's hurt. You know,
Tank Dell stays getting hurt. Yeah, he stays getting hurt.
But I know he has good chemistry with him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but still, he still got they got pieces around him. You can argue maybe the offensive line isn't as good as you would want it to be around him, but I was telling you this earlier, bro. Like, you could kind of tell a lot about a QB on how they deal with pressure.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. Like, you could have a good offensive line, but eventually a quarterback's gonna get pressured. How is he gonna deal with it? Now, you can't. Obviously, you want him to win some of those battles, but you can't live off that. You can't live off a quarterback getting pressured constantly.
Yeah, facts.
Jacksonville in the AFC in the Super Bowl. Ooh, man, they're the hottest team right now. You could probably argue they're the hottest team in the NFL.
Man,
but,
I wouldn't be mad at that. You know, Jacoby in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be mad at that for him.
Oh man, that would be like, people won't forget about it too, especially if he plays big in the playoffs and
exactly.
Big stage. Everybody's like, look, the Raiders made another mistake. They let another good player, get away or whatever the case may be. But But you know what though, the NFL, and I said this to you before, man, the NFL is trash right now. This whole year is just ugly. Like,
it's just a weird year.
Bro, it's just so many bad teams. It's like teams that are inconsistent. They still find a way to get to 12-3.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like Denver Broncos, like we said the other.
Except for the Chiefs.
Oh, the Chiefs, yeah, the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, but it sucks though because they're gonna get a top 10 pick.
Yeah, it is true.
And what is that top 10 pick gonna look like for them? Is that gonna be another weapon for Mahomes? Is that gonna be Caleb Downs? I don't want to see none of that.
Look, Jordan Tyson, your boy, wasn't it Denzel Boston?
Oh hell.
Denzel Boston.
No. Jordan Tyson or dude from
Cornell Tate.
Cornell Tate, yeah.
Yeah, that could happen. Or
top two guys right now, but.
Or it could be your other Chris Brazil. Nah. He fits that mold too. Big deep threat, and he's got some height on him too.
I'm hoping they drop in the second round. Most likely they not. I mean, maybe Brazil might be in the second round, but Boston I feel like is a little bit more polished.
Yeah.
But damn, Brazil, his talent is. Oh my God, he's
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. And I know he played for Tennessee. I know everyone's gonna be like Dante Thornton, but completely.
He's way better than Thornton, bro. It's
completely different players. Like when you watch him, it's like, oh man, this dude is attacking the ball in the air, along with having the speed and how he come in and out of his breaks. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks completely different. But
yeah,
From a guy that we thought was a 6th round, 5th round prospect that maybe you could possibly develop him into a deep threat, you're talking about a guy that we're talking about can possibly be a number 1 receiver. It's a big difference. We were never saying Dante Thornton was going to be a number 1 receiver. I know a lot of people were hyping up his measurables and saying that he's going to be the next Calvin Johnson because only 3 players at that size had it. That measurables it's interesting, but we're going to be realistic, though, at the end of the day. But going back to the game, though, against the Texans, rookie class kind of showed up.
Yeah.
From Ashton Jeanty, starting off with him, he had a big game. Respect to him, he was able to he flashed in the pass game, 60-yard receiving touchdown, and then you got that 50-yard run. But it wasn't just that. He was just, and I like that they stayed with it. I like that they stayed with it, but part of them staying with the run game though was because the game was close.
Exactly.
And I think that's also another aspect.
But that's not just that though. It was effective. It's not only do you need 2 things in those situations. You need the game to be close, but you also need the run to be somewhat effective, right? Obviously you hope that early on, you can see maybe it's some tough sledding but it's like body punches as a boxer, right? Like they're not going to pay immediate dividends, but in the championship rounds, what they say, you kill the body and the head will die. So you're hoping it kind of takes that effect where you kind of take the will out of the opponent, but you still have to be effective in getting first downs, because if you're not, then you never get to those late rounds, right? So if you're not landing those body blows, or those body blows aren't being effective, then you don't get to those late rounds because you're probably getting stopped. So it's the same thing with the run game, where you want to run, and you want to have that consistency, but you have to be making some headway, and we just haven't. First of all, we've been getting our teeth kicked in most games this year, but when we have tried to run, it's been ineffective. Outside of like 2.5 games, you want to say, if you want to count the Colts game, I think it was off to a good start in that game.
No, especially early on, like of the season, it was like terrible. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
Like it was bad for long stretches. Like for the majority of the season, like it was almost like, why are we running the ball? But that being said, the reason why I said that, the game was close and they were able to still stick with the run. I mean, Jeanty did have a run for like 21 yards, but it got called back in the first half. At one point, he had like 11. I think he had 15 carries for like 30-something yards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is in the first half.
Yeah.
The first half. So the second half, he finished with 24. So that means the second half he had 9 carries. Do the math, like for almost 100, over 90 yards. 90 yards.
Yeah, something like that.
So what I'm saying is that, like, you can argue that the run game, they could easily went away from it because it wasn't as efficient as you would want to be, but they stuck with it because they had like 15 carries for 30-some yards, 40-some yards. That's what, measly 3 yards a carry.
Yeah,
around there. 2 to 3 yards a carry. But then they're able to stick with it. He finished with 24 carries. 128 yards. Obviously, man, like he balled out that game. But I think that's going to be the recipe for the next guy that comes up. Hopefully, Raiders make a head coaching change. Obviously, they're going to probably get a new offensive system coming in. You know what I mean? I'm wording it that way because I'm also. I don't want this to happen. I don't think Pete should come back, but if he does, if there is a weird, whatever reason, no matter what, there's going to be a new offensive coordinator. Greg Olsen should go back to his, position as a QB coach. If Pete stays, I don't think he should be the offensive coordinator. Even though he's doing some good things, I don't think he should be the offensive coordinator. He's just too inconsistent. There are moments where he does good things, but there's moments where I'm like, come on, man, like. And part of it is Raider PTSD because I've seen what he did in the past as an OC with obviously this is his third go around. If you want to count like him as an interim OC when Gruden went out. Well, actually he was the OC, but we all know that Gruden was the play caller.
Yeah.
At the time. So yeah, man. The defense balled out. Defensive line was able to get after it. They did some good things. Darian Porter, that's another guy like from the rookie draft class. I think Nico Collins kind of got the best of him at times.
Yeah.
But there were times where he had him locked up. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give him credit. Like I think he's going to be a starter. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is like if you start thinking about this rookie draft class, a lot of people were kind of like. Since the season's not going, it's not going the way it's supposed to. It's not going the way it's supposed to. They automatically want to criticize.
Yeah.
They automatically want to criticize the team, no matter if it's right or wrong. So, in my opinion, a lot of people want to get on the draft and say, "Oh, they haven't contributed," but they haven't. They didn't really play like that. But now that they're playing, now they're getting opportunity. Now you're seeing like them flash a little bit. Tonka Hemingway flashed. Darian Porter flashed. The guard, we got the guard.
Caleb Rogers.
Is he going to be competing for a starting spot next year?
It should be.
You drafted him in the third round.
Yeah.
Parham is a free agent. he's flashing enough where you think, hey, at the end of the day, like, they're not going to be able to address every need. Even though I think, man, the biggest, if they're able to get that center from the Ravens, bro, that's going to bring that's going to bring everything together.
That would be crazy.
And then, like, in the second round, they could really, they can go a lot of different directions. I know a lot of people probably, if we go quarterback in the first round, a lot of people can be like, hey, we need to go add talent to that defense. But I'm like, hey, we could add talent to that defense, or we could add someone in the trenches, or, I'm like, if you draft Mendoza, you draft, Moore, you got to give him a big target on the outside.
Yeah. No, facts.
Because we don't have that. We don't have like a guy that could attack the ball in the air on the outside. Tucker's not that. Dante Thornton is not that. Besh.
Not really. He's not really that either.
I don't know.
He's not attack the ball in the guy air either, in my opinion. We really don't have that. I mean, the jury's still out on the draft class. Haven't really seen the level of contribution you would expect from where certain players were drafted. Obviously, you draft 2 linemen in the 3rd round. Only one of them is playing. It took them until week 13, 14 for that guy to get any meaningful playing time. Jeanty's had 2 really elite games, right? Excellent games. But outside of those 2 games, he's been, hit or miss, mostly miss. But you're hoping, he can take what he did from this game and kind of build some momentum, finish out the year strong, then head into the offseason and, carry what he was doing now forward and hit the ground running to start next season, hopefully with a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator. Obviously, Jack Besh, if you draft a guy in the 2nd round, you would hope he's, a steady contributor, really a starter, but, a guy that's really contributing. And, he really hasn't done a whole bunch either. So, but, the thing that's most disappointing, especially with Besh and Jeanty, is those were guys that were touted as ready-made for the NFL. So you expected pretty hefty contributions from them year 1. Jack Besh, there was extenuating circumstances because of Jacoby Myers, but Jeanty, there's not. So you would hope you would have got more out of him, but he came out yesterday and he kind of showed, or Sunday rather, and showed this is the kind of play you get you would want to get when you draft a guy at 6th overall. So hopefully this isn't a repeat of the Bears game where he has a big game and then kind of we go away from him or he goes back into a shell. Hopefully he can kind of keep that going. And Jack Besh, he's had a nice catch in each of these last 2 or 3 games. So hopefully he can kind of take that and build on it as well. And then Caleb, he's playing. He played really well his first game. Last game against the Eagles, he struggled mightily. This game was mostly good. I want to say he did have some rough moments, but this is all a learning experience for him. And then we still haven't seen Charles Grant. There's no point in us seeing Forsyth out there, Stone Forsyth out there anymore. Get that guy off the field, get our young 3rd round left tackle out there, let that guy get some run as well. So I just question the decision making of this team.
No, facts. And that's been a major talking point this entire season and that's something that reflects bad on Pete Carroll. And the reason why, we would think that that's one of the reasons why the Raiders would go in a different direction, because at the end of the day, this is clearly a team that's rebuilding. This is clearly a team of needed talent. This is clearly a team that needs to build towards something. And Pete Carroll, who has a history of building some teams, but right now he's 75 years old, or he's 74 and he's going to be 75 next year. you got to think that like a lot of his decisions this season, you could tell that a lot of it was geared towards trying to win now. At some point, there had to be a realization like, hey, this team is not it. And every time, like, we were kind of laughing about like some of the pressures he had early in the season, where he was just like, man, like, I didn't think that we're gonna, I didn't know, I didn't think that, this was gonna happen. I'm like surprised that this is how it's playing out. And like, okay, all right, you didn't know that was gonna happen. Now what? Now what are you gonna do? He continued to do the same thing over and over again, playing veterans over younger players, stunning their growth, or I won't even say it's just stunning their growth, like not giving them an opportunity to like grow, like giving an opportunity to get the experience that they need, especially in the losing season. We're finally kind of getting that, but you had to wonder though, like they're not on the same page with. And I said this before. He's not on, like, Pete Carroll is obviously not on the same page with Spytek. There's a disconnect somewhere.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing the younger players. I don't know if that's Spytek kind of like, hey, backed up by, guys above him. They're like, hey, you're gonna have to play some of these guys. Because didn't they cut Lekki Futu?
Yeah, they cut Lekki Futu, yeah.
And that's I think that's a Pete Carroll guy. That's a veteran.
Yeah.
It's a veteran.
Yeah.
It's a veteran. You know what I mean? And that's a sign that. What is that sign for? That's a sign like, hey, young D lineman, it's time for you guys to get some snaps. Talking Hemingway, the JJ Pegee. So I think he got hurt last game. I don't know if he came back.
Yeah, I don't think JJ Pegee's played. I know who else didn't play.
No,
Tyree Wilson.
Tyree Wilson. I know, bro. It's bad, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. I feel. I mean, I don't feel like I did in the past with other draft class that I felt like, man, this doesn't look too good. Like, just think about like the Tyree Wilson draft. Think about, the Alex Leatherwood, and man, like, those misses. Man, those other drafts, like I felt like I was reaching more with those guys. Like literally, remember the year that Ziegler drafted those D tackles?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they
Matthew Butler and Neil Farrell.
Bro, they didn't even. It's not even they didn't even play. They didn't do nothing. They didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
And we're seeing at least Tonka Hemingway make some plays. JJ Peke's, he might have had maybe some here and there. He might be showing up here and there. I know I think he had like a hand injury or something like that last game. I don't know if he came back. They say he was questionable to come back. I don't know if he ended up coming back in the game. But either way, we're talking about like fourth, fifth round picks that are flashing. And then you got to think about the Jack Beshes of the world getting, slowly but surely, kind of an incomplete guy. Like, I don't, you would want more from a second round pick. But
yeah, a lot more.
Yeah. That's the thing by him. But Jeanty's, I feel like, is going to be a good player. And then Darian Porter, I think, is going to be a starter next year.
I agree. I
That's
agree with both of those. Yeah.
That's where it's trending. So that's two starters. And then after that, man, a possible third with Rodgers.
Yeah.
I can see that happening, bro. Like, you draft him in the third round, and like he's already flashing. He's on a cheap contract. Like, what are you gonna go pay another guy to take his? Maybe you get a cheap veteran guy that like can compete with him, like, kind of a compete situation. Not like not a Pete Carroll compete, but like you know what I mean, like an actual competition where it makes sense that you would have him compete for a spot.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, either via getting another guard, or you can do that via getting the right tackle and sliding Glaze down to right guard. So like you can do either one of those things and kind of make that competition naturally happen with guys that are already, or at least with two guys that, right there that are already on the roster. If it's between Glaze and Caleb Rogers. So yeah, man, I like I said, I mean, it's draft class still much to be desired, still much to be desired thus far, but it is year one. So you want to get, like we always say, give the guys at least 3 years to see what they turn into. So the jury's still out. I'm just, more than anything, I'm happy to see these guys on the field, actually playing, learning on the job. And we see as they're playing more, they're starting to make those improvements and get, adjusted and acclimated to life in NFL and NFL level competition. And I think that's the biggest thing for all of those guys. So especially, Jack and Darian Porter, Darian Porter more than anybody, who didn't really have a lot of time at the corner position in college. So it was really imperative for him to get as much time on the field and as much development as possible. And we kind of wasted a large part of the year not playing them. But he's getting these stats now, so that's a good thing. So I'm just hoping these guys, they finish strong. We lose, but they finish strong, and they can kind of take what they've been learning this year and carry that forward. And whoever the new regime is, let's just hope these are guys that fit into their system, because we've seen it before where we draft guys, they show promise, then we lose, we fire the coach, and then the drafted guys that showed promise no longer fit the scheme of the new coach, and so we let go of those guys for nothing or for the low. Then they go somewhere else and they have success. Like I'm kind of tired of seeing that. So I'm hoping it's I don't want Pete Carroll back, but I'm hoping that we don't see that same cycle kind of reoccur.
A big part of why that happens, you could say, obviously the constant changes in coaching staffs, but also to go along with the change in coaching staff, GM, general manager.
Yeah.
So the general manager is going to have a good idea of who he has on the roster. Obviously, it's his job to supply the coaching staff with talent, but I'm sure even if they get a new coach, the coach is probably going to he's going to want players that fit his system, but there's going to be at least someone in the building with some say-so that will actually make a decision on, the next the players on the team. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like there's going to be it's going to be at least somebody in the building that's going to have something to say.
Yeah, I mean, we've been here. I don't know if you saw the report that was saying Tom Brady is going to be more involved. And with that being said, we don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So, we're hoping it's a good thing, but you kind of never know. So, he's a guy that he understands life in the NFL. Maybe he doesn't understand all the intricacies of drafting and scouting and all that stuff, but he understands what it takes to be an NFL player. He did it for a long time. A lot of different locker rooms with multiple teams at this point. So, we're just hoping that he's at least in constant communication with SpyTech and empowering SpyTech to do what he feels he needs to do to get this team going in the right direction. Because at the end of the day, he did basically select him to be the general manager, so he is going to be the person that is responsible for leading this team in the future, especially when it comes to gathering the personnel. So they all, like him and his head coach, have to be on the same page. So it's imperative that SpyTech be involved in that process this year, because we know he wasn't really involved in it last year.
Yeah, and shout out to Brendan, man. He says, I feel like wide receiver is a luxury we may not be able to get this year. A lot of bigger fish to fry. Now, I can see that. I feel like the Raiders should aggressively upgrade the offensive line through free agency and then possibly the draft. Or maybe just aggressively through free agency and then use the draft to add talent in other spots, especially the defense. And the defense needs some talent, not gonna lie. This team, the entire team needs talent.
Yeah.
The entire team. We don't have we literally don't have a starting X receiver. I don't think we have that on the roster. We don't have a big receiver that we can throw the ball on the outside and go up and get it. We don't have that on the roster. And you look at a Mendoza, who a lot of fans want, he likes throwing to those guys. He likes throwing that back shoulder. He likes throwing those 50-50 balls. So he needs to have a guy that can get those 50-50 catches, you know. So that's why I'm throwing it out there. But yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm not gonna be mad at if we get somebody on the offensive line, someone in the trenches, defensive line, especially if we go quarterback early. You know, there is a big need on the opposite of Max Crosby. Who's going to be the guy that's going to, you know, get after the quarterback on the opposite side? Maybe they address, they get another pass rusher, or they add a talented D tackle. You know what I mean? That could be a possibility if BPA situation. Because if we're being honest, there's really not is there anybody in the middle of the defense? I know we talked about like the J.J. Pegues and Hemingway. It's kind of early. They flash a little bit. But is there is there someone potentially to be that, you know, game-changing D tackle on this team? I don't think we have that right now. So if there's someone in the draft that drops, because think about this. I talked about this the other day. The value of getting the number one pick is, guess what? We're going to have the number one pick in the second round. We're going to have the number one pick in the third round. We're going to have the number one pick. So we're going to have an opportunity to get the best players that dropped from the previous rounds, especially after the first round. That's where it's key. So that can be, I'm not going to lie. I know a lot of people are tired of hearing this, but BPA.
Yeah.
BPA. Yeah. Don't play around, bro. Like, we need talent everywhere. But for sure, free agency, offensive line should be the heavy, like that should be the like first day free agency. Throw the bag at that center from the Ravens. Grab a right tackle, and you know, hey, Rodgers flash enough. Maybe grab some other guard for cheap. Have them compete. You know what I mean with Rodgers going into training camp, and then hopefully, you know, Rodgers, we're all expecting him hopefully to take the next step. Hopefully he has a good offseason, and then he takes starting spot. But I just think free agency should be like heavy emphasis on the offensive line.
So what do you do with JP? So in that scenario, what do you do with JPJ? Let's say we land that in the land. I think it's Lindenbaum, and then we get a right tackle. So then we got. Do you put JPJ back at left guard? Or do you
just keep him right guard? Because I don't like.
So you put him at left guard then?
No, put him at right guard. Leave
okay.
him at right guard.
So you putting Rodgers at left guard?
Yeah. Because the only reason why is like I'm tired of having these guys constantly, you know, switch up. I know Rodgers right now he's at right guard, right?
Yeah.
So. But then look, think about it. If we move JPJ again, like we're literally like we could be ruining this player's development. Like everybody talking about JPJ, by next year everybody gonna be like, JPJ's trash. Like,
yeah.
But if you look at his whole, he went from left guard to, did he go back to right guard in his rookie year? I know he went to left guard to center to right guard. And now you're telling him to go back to left guard. It's like, just have him find a home and let him stay there and just develop and get better from there. You know, obviously he needs to stay on the field. He needs to get healthy. But you know, I would want him to stay at right guard. And I think that he's played right guard in college. That's his kind of like. That was the guard position that he played in college. I think he played center. And right guard. So I would want JPJ at right guard.
All right. And then you will move Caleb. See, that's the thing though. Like, because either way, you're moving a young guy, right? Like, we probably could have solved a lot more problems if we would have left JPJ at center. But you know, obviously Pete Carroll and his son, in their infinite wisdom, decided to shuffle up the whole interior of the offensive line. And where have we been seeing the most trouble this year? You know, outside of Glenn, well, it's everywhere, but really, you know, the biggest trouble has been on the interior. So, you know, whether that be miscommunication, guys getting beat, like the center of offensive line has been a massive problem. So, you know, we either got to upgrade it via the personnel we have and in-house, and by deploying them in their proper positions or positions where we can maximize their talents, or we got to go elsewhere and get it. But if we start spending money big on, on offensive line, which I have no problem with. If we spend big on offensive line, I'm good with that. But we have to understand that when we do that, then that leaves less resources, obviously, to address other needs on the team. So we kind of got to hit it with those bargain free agent signings, and we have to hit it on our in the draft, and we have to get guys that can contribute. So we can't do what we did this year. We can't do next year. Like that. Not if we want to compete. So we gotta first of all hope that this class develops and they're frontline contributors. But then the guys we get next year, we gotta hope that we draft guys that can actually contribute from day one. Because if not, like at that point we done spend our money on the offensive line and free agency, and then we don't have those skill positions to kind of back it up.
Yeah, like I'm not saying, like when I say go all in on offensive line, try to go after the top available talent at offensive line. If we can get like at least 2 positions where it's like top caliber, and then obviously after that, we all know how free agency works. Like there's gonna be at least like 2. If the team has a lot of cap space, there's gonna be at least 2 guys that they're gonna throw the bag at.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is probably going to get like, the chump. They're going to get like, small deals, 1-year deal, 2-year deal, whatever the case may be. So I'm just saying, like, to me, it should just go to offensive line, and then from there, you start. I think they should bring back Eric Stokes.
I agree.
I think they should bring him back. He had a solid year. I don't know what his deal would look like. Would you give him a 2 to 3 year deal?
Yeah.
2 to 3
Probably. I mean, he's still young. I'll probably get like a 3-year deal. He's fairly young.
3-year deal. I mean, he's been solid. So I think you can get him on like a 2 to 3 year deal, and after that, you know what I mean. Like, for some of the guys that's saying like, oh, you know what, grabbing a wide receiver early, which like in the second round would be a little luxury. I wouldn't be. I'm not gonna argue with you. That is true. But I'm also looking at it from like a perspective like, damn, we have needs everywhere. Yeah. So if you know that the best player, like you have him way up here, is a wide receiver, and the next and another guy is a D lineman, or the other guy below him is an offensive lineman, why are you going to go all the way down here to grab this guy when you know clearly that this wide receiver, which is also a premium position. Yeah. And if you value this guy to develop, like, come on, like, we got to use a little bit of, we can't be mad and, and say, that's what I'm saying. Like, we should be aggressive to upgrade the trenches in free agency. And then from there, I mean, you could grab a wide receiver with some size in free agency. But he would be
I don't know who's available. Y'all know who's available.
It wouldn't be anybody of, like, and this is I'm still sticking with the strategy of throwing the bag at like the offensive lineman, top offensive lineman that you can get. Like hopefully like the Linderbaums of the world, maybe a right tackle. Illuminor is a free agent. That's an interesting guy to bring back if they're interested in doing that. Obviously the guy from the Colts, I think it was Braden Jones or Braden Smith. Braden Smith. That's another right tackle that's available. And then from there, remember I said after that it's going to be a lot of 1-year deals. There's some guys that you can give 1-year deals. I think there's a wide receiver from the Packers. He got some size, like 24-year-old receiver.
Dontavian Wicks?
Yeah. Just saying. Not like a game breaker, not a number 1 receiver, but he's just going to play. He's going to 1 year. 1-year rental, and you just have him play a role where look, if you're gonna have a Trey Tuckers of the world, you're gonna have the Besh, you're gonna have Brock Bowers, and everybody gonna have to play their role. Obviously, it's gonna be Brock Bowers is gonna lead the show on as a number 1 option in the offense, but then at least you got a guy on the outside that can win in those situations. That's what I'm saying. Like they can go that route, and then in 2027 they can draft a wide receiver early. that got some potential to be a number 1 receiver. But that's another way to go about it. But yeah, man, we talking about the draft. Like I'm already looking ahead, man. I'm like people watching games still. I'm watching the games, but I'm also like I'm looking at a lot, man. I know you were talking about like, you know, quarterbacks, and I think we're gonna get into like that in a little bit. But that being said, you already know what time it is, man. It's flag on the play.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business. He played it down.
Man, so hey, look, real quick, Reese Rock says I give credit to Olsen for calling. He did call a solid game, but
Yeah.
I'm cool. I don't want Greg Olsen as an OC. Sorry, I like him as a QB coach though. QB coach, he could be cool.
Yeah, you know, it remains to be seen how good of a QB coach he is. Looking at how Geno has massively regressed. I don't put that all on Greg Olsen, but he has massively regressed. So, you know, you're a QB coach, so you gotta hold some of that. But yeah, I'm cool too. I think he called a good enough game. You know, I think obviously Jeanty had 2 big plays. One of them was a good play design, good call, good scheme. You know, the other one, it went from being, you know, a regular run to like, you know, a huge gain, and that was really that was off the strength of Jeanty. You know, he his path was blocked off. He was able to find the outlet. He got some solid blocking, and then he was able to break a tackle and do the rest himself. So I wouldn't necessarily ascribe that to Olsen. So you know, it kind of remains to be seen. But definitely need to upgrade at both OC and HC.
No, for sure. But yeah, this week, man, we got flags on the play as usual. There's always going to be some flags, some issues we have that happen around the league, any sport or anything like that. But I think this week we got some football related stuff, NFL related stuff. What we got? What's the first flag on the play this week, Samir?
Yeah, man, DK Metcalf, man. Everybody knows about the fan altercation he had. If you haven't seen it, you know, it's crazy. But, you know, the worst part of that is I think he was suspended by the league for 2 games. But due to that suspension and that altercation with the fan, it voided guaranteed money in his contract. So he was owed a guaranteed $40 million, I think, over the next 2 years. Those guarantees are now voided, so he has to play that thing out. So if he messes around and gets hurt or gets cut or does, you know, something else, that money is gone. Poof, vanish, finito. So major flag, costing yourself $40 million.
Yeah, man, that was pretty bad. The whole situation was bad. I'm sure whoever, the reason why he did it, you know, dude said something really disrespectful. Like I'm not gonna act like he just walked up on somebody and just did that for no reason.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, like, come on, man, like, you're a professional, and like, come on, people gonna say something crazy. There's too much on the line for you to go about doing it. You know, I understand people gonna say something crazy, but like, they're gonna do it every game. You know,
every game.
So you can't. It's just not something that you could do. But I didn't know until you said it, told me about it, that $40 million is voided out of his deal. Well, his guarantees are voided.
Guarantees are voided, yeah.
So there's still a chance for him to get that money, but he would have to like basically be on his best behavior. Like he can't come late to practice. He can't miss a day. That's terrible, man. Terrible.
Yeah, he's at the mercy of the Steelers now. So
yeah,
it's rough place to be.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely flag on a play on DK, man. I'm not, and it's not because it's tough because I already know whoever it was. They said something out of pocket. Come on, like.
Oh yeah.
For you to walk up and like just smack someone like you, they must have said something crazy, but the $40 million, I can't co-sign that, bro. Like there's no way you're gonna come back to the house and be like, well, because nah, $40 million. that it was worth it? Was it really worth it? $40 million. Flag on the play, man. On DK, man. What's the next flag? What we got?
We got Brandon Ayuk.
Brandon
Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk might be one of the all-time. He's getting close to the all-time flag, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I think he filmed himself driving by that's a Levi Stadium, right? Going 90 miles an hour. So not only are you putting out self-incriminating evidence against you, but you basically threw this entire season away, for nothing. I did hear that the Niners, or maybe not the Niners. There was a team that was reaching out to the Niners about possibly bringing Ayuk on for next year. So I don't know how that'll go, but the way he's handled this entire situation, he's cost himself a whole bunch of money, damaged his reputation, and so he's going to have to. They say it takes a long time to build up your reputation, and you can destroy it all with one act, and that's kind of where Brandon Ayuk is right now.
Yeah, Rishi says the guy is known, just going back to the DK situation, he says the guy is known DK heckler from Seattle. People are crazy and pay for expensive tickets just to heckle someone, a trash of a person.
Yeah.
That's
Still
weird.
though, man, DK he gotta. I feel him, man. Like look, I don't hold no punches, bro. Somebody, but like, man, you gotta, you gotta cross the line, putting your hands on somebody like that crosses the line, man.
Yeah. No, 100%, man. Salute to everybody pulling up. Make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Raider Ryan in the building, man. Appreciate you pulling up. But yeah, man. The Brandon Ayuk situation is he's up there. He's. I think Antonio. What'd you say, Antonio Brown?
It's all-time flag. Yeah.
Travis Hunter.
Oh, disgusting.
Travis Hunter is pretty disgusting. Brandon Ayuk is. We gotta have. We gotta have because the New Year's is almost here. You know what I mean? I think pretty much like next week.
Flag of the year.
Yeah, like biggest flag of the year.
Oh, bro, Travis Hunter, bro. It's not even.
Brandon Ayuk is
Brandon Ayuk is crazy too, though. But look, Brandon Ayuk can, he can low key make amends, probably come back to the NFL, and he was still gonna have lost out whatever money he lost this year and whatever money he would have been able to gain in this time as he rebuilds his reputation. But Travis Hunter got 18 years, bro. He got 18-year sentence. 18 years. At least. Bro, so man. And look, we talking about the money that Ayuk is losing. Bro, no paperwork. You didn't sign no paperwork, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, Trav.
Yeah, Hunter.
Oh,
yeah.
Trav.
I'm trying to think who else is who's on there.
AB got to be up there too.
AB is just an all-time. He's an all-time.
Yeah, he's
flag
all-time.
on the play. Well, actually, didn't AB kind of get arrested this year?
He got jammed up. He was back on Twitter posting the other day, unless somebody's running his account. But
yeah, I think people running his account. I feel like he might have sold his account, but
yeah,
I don't know.
AB may not. Yeah, he may not be able to read. To be honest with you.
I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what? I'm putting. You know what? This is, even though we didn't really talk about him as a big flag on a play, but we talked about it kind of like after the fact, especially last couple weeks. We've been on hiatus with the 50-50 show, but we brought it up on ATS. But the former head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, man.
Oh yeah, man.
He gotta be.
Yo.
He is. I think he might be in the running to one of the biggest flag of the year, without even being a flag on the play during one of our shows.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, because it fell during this time. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good one right there.
The details like I read up on the details of the whole situation. Like he had a full
wild,
mental breakdown.
Oh yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
Man, but yeah, man, I ain't want to get into all the little details, but he just went crazy. He just went crazy.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, I think that wraps up Flag on the Play this week, man. If you guys have any flags, obviously hit us up on social media. You can hit up the Severe Raider on IG or on Twitter, or obviously myself, PharoahNFL, on IG or Twitter, or Around the Shield as well. Around the Shield on IG or Twitter, and just hit us up with anything that you feel like is a flag on the play. I think next week, well, you know what? Let's do next week. Next week we'll look back on some of the biggest flags of the year, and we'll try to gather up a list. Like who, I know like Travis Hunter is like he was on multiple times.
Oh my god. Devontae too. Yeah.
Well, Devontae was last year though. Technically.
Well, technically, I think was it last year? It was not this calendar year.
But he was you know what he was throwing shots. He's throwing shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's throwing shots.
Yeah.
Devontae, yeah, he's throwing shots.
Oh yeah. Oh, Bill Belichick, his grill. That's a good one, Reese. That is a good one.
Man, but we not done yet, man. If you haven't already, make sure to clock in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're going live on both our channels, so obviously if you haven't your first time watching us, definitely subscribe to both. Definitely clock in, as we like to say. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and hit the hype button too. Anybody watching the replay, I believe the hype button will be available. Just check down below the video and you'll see it there. Hype it. It really helps us out. What did Trav Hunter do? He just went into
poor life choices. Poor life choices.
Yeah. I guess that's a great way to describe it. Whatever. But we're not done yet. We got notable quotables.
Yes.
We got notable quotables where we play quotes that we find interesting that we can spark up a conversation. Severe, what's the first quote?
And the first quote, man, obviously, we just got done playing the Houston Texans, and probably their best player overall on their team is Will Anderson. And after the game, he had some very nice things to say about our rookie first round pick, Ashton Jeanty.
All right, let's see what and the head coach too. I think the head coach was able to say some good things about him too. Like one of the things he said was he was as advertised. Damn, I'm looking at the $40 million. That's crazy. 500,000 in game checks a game by DK Metcalf. That is wild.
Yes, that's some million right there.
Yeah, but here goes Will Anderson talking about Jeanty.
Turn it up.
Can you hear that?
Nah. It's low, yeah.
Anybody in the chat, let me know if you guys can hear it. I'm going to play it again. This is Will Anderson talking about Ashton Jeanty. Oh, man.
I say nothing that time.
It's nothing now. Man, it's loud on man. Did anybody hear the clip from Will Anderson talking about Ashton Jeanty? I'm sure people heard it before, but I'm just saying, did you hear it when I played it a few seconds ago? Let's see. That's weird.
Yeah, I didn't hear it on my end, but maybe they did though.
All right, no worries, man. I think I know what it is, but pretty much notable quotable is about Will Anderson, pretty much complimenting Ashton Jeanty, and he
Yeah.
was like, man, I've never stopped in a game and was like, man, this guy's a dog. And, you know, just talked about how good of a player he is and how he's going to be a really good player in this league. So high praise coming from a top player at his position in the NFL, a great defensive player in the NFL. So that's his peer, you know, at the end of the day. So that's good to hear, man, because I know people are questioning Ashton Jeanty and if he's a good player or not or anything like that, you know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, I didn't have those questions. I think I seen like him flash enough where I'm like, he's gonna be a good player at the very least. Now it's just his ceiling that you start thinking about. But this game, I think it kind of shows his path. And I said this to you earlier. I said I think it kind of shows his path to being a great player. Not that it doesn't mean that he's gonna reach it. Doesn't mean that this is going. But, like, for him to be great, this is what it's going to look like. He has a guy that's going to be able to run the football effectively, but also be a threat in the pass game.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, the skill set that he brings to the – and especially in the NFL. Man, I got to yeah, right around. It's all good, man. It's all good. We're going to have to fix that issue another time, but
let me see. But
here, I mean, I
tough running, hard to bring in the game and actually like shot. It was like dang, like
can you hear it?
I've never been in the game and actually like shot. It was like dang, like this man's a dog. A ton of respect for him, man. He's gonna be a really good player in this league. Tough back, tough runner, hard to bring down, man. So he's gonna do a lot of great things in this league. I have a ton of respect for him. Short week. I've never been.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, man. I mean, what were your thoughts when you heard Will Anderson talk about Jeanty? Like, was that kind of like, whew, man, that's kind of like, because I know you were like, he's going to be a good player, but then you were also questioning like, man, like there's certain things about his game I don't know if he's going to he might overcome or he needs to get better at. I know with Jeanty, I know you've talked about him, you've been critical about some things he did this season because he's also been a part of the problem because he's going through his rookie growing pains. But like hearing him say that, do you feel like, okay, you know what, like you feel a lot better about Jeanty as a player?
No, but it's just because like I don't know like I don't know how Will Anderson is as a guy. I know he's super like ultimate leader, super positive guy, but I don't know like how he handles the media. So anytime I hear anybody say stuff like that, like, I think he's gonna be a really good player in the league. Yeah, like I just always assume that's like a player, coach speak essentially. Like, that's, you know, just like saying nice things, saying nice things to say nice things. Like we heard about. People used to say those like similar stuff about Tyree. Oh, this guy's a freak of nature. Yeah. He ever puts it together, like, you know. So I just feel that they say stuff like that just because, you know, like they see talent there. They assume the person is going to do everything in their possible power to you know reach their full potential. So, you know, they say those things, but you know, like I said, like his words aren't going to affect what Jeanty does on the field. At the end of the day. What I was more happy with was seeing Jeanty actually perform on the football field. So it was nice hearing those things. But like, you know, it wasn't like I just take it as like I said, essentially like coach speak. Like, you know, him saying nice things. I'm sure if they asked Jeanty about him, he's one of the best defensive players in the league. One of the tough. Like that's what they always say about every guy. Like you ever hear coach talk about their next? Or you like. You're about to play the Raiders. What do you think of the Raiders? Oh, man, you know, we're a really well-coached team, and I know they're having a down year, but, you know, we all expect them to come out there and play their hardest, and they got some great guys over there, and that's just part of the media, you know, training that these guys go through. So, you know, right. It's nice to hear those things, but, like, I take all of it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that, but I also think that, like, players are not going to say things that they don't want to say. They're not gonna call a player that's trash great. They're gonna use their words wisely. Like for
Yeah.
example, for example, one of your favorite players on the team is Ashton Jeanty, right? Not Ashton Jeanty, but Tyree Wilson. And with him, you can obviously see that like he's not that good of a player. But if an opposing player is talking about Tyree Wilson, he's like, oh man, Tyree Wilson, I think that he's gotten better, and I think you can see how like they're trying to remain as positive as possible, but they're not gonna go all the way left field with it. So sometimes you got to read between the lines and be like, okay,
Yeah.
there's certain players, they're going to be way more open to saying that they're a good player because they actually believe that they're a good player.
Yeah.
Now, if you're talking about how good and how great or whatever, yeah. You could probably say that they're probably not going to. You're going to have to look at it from the grand scheme of things. Like if you're hearing it consistently from his peers, then there might be something. There might be something there because they're constantly kind of praising him, constantly talking about how good he is and what they, we've seen it happen before. We see what Max Crosby, we know what it is, but guys like, like Tyree, they're gonna be very selective of their words. They're not gonna go and call him like, oh yeah, that's Tyree's one of the best players at his position. No, they're not gonna say that. They're not even gonna say he's a really good player. They're not even gonna say he's a good player. They're gonna say, oh man, Tyree. He's a guy that he's really solid, and he's really good against the run. Like they're gonna find ways to compliment him, like his strengths and stuff like that, and they'll just keep it at that. I noticed that. Like I noticed players, they don't want to lie like that. They don't want to lie like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, you also think about as a competitor. The guy just had a good game against them, so like it's gonna be like. He's mid. Like, well, this mid guy just did that to y'all. Like, what does that make y'all? So, like, it's always gonna be an element of okay, because like if you want to get into like a semantics thing, like, what did he say? He's really tough to bring down. He's a tough physical. He didn't say anything like, man, that guy is fast as hell, or he's so quick. We can like, he's a real tough runner. He's tough to bring down, tough to tackle. It wasn't like, oh my God, his speed and his athleticism was this and that. So like that's what I said. I don't want to get into a semantics thing because I just think it was one of those things like, oh man, I think it's gonna be like that's what they always say about young guys. Oh man, I think once he puts everything together, he's gonna be a great player in this league. Like that, you always say, oh, he's gonna be a really good player for a long time. Oh, I think he's gonna do great things. Like we always hear people say that about rookies, and they're gonna say that until they don't, and then when they don't, then they're never gonna be spoken about again. Like Tyree Wilson.
Okay. And how did you feel about the game? Did the game performance change your opinion about Ashton Jeanty and what his potential could be, or do you feel like he's still good player?
No, that's what I'm missing. I think he's a good player, and I mean, I think his ceiling is good player. I think he had a really good game. But we've seen other players have really great games, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to take anything away from him because he had a really good game. But like that doesn't change. Like we won't like that's what people do. Like he will play ass for 15 out of the 17 game or whatever. And then he'll play one great game and that's his defining game. Like none of the other performances where he missed holes or he ran the wrong way or he didn't block or he didn't know the play so he didn't get out on his right. Like none of the other stuff matters. But this one game matters and that's who he is. Like no, it's not. You have to look at things collectively. You have to take things in proper context, right? You have to look into he's had 2 offensive coordinators and his offensive line isn't great. And so you have to take all that stuff into account. But you also have to look at what he's done himself and who he is as a player. And what I've seen from him as a player and what I've seen from him athletically, in terms of his vision, all you have to take all that stuff into context. And when I take all that stuff holistically, I come to the same conclusion.
Yeah. I mean, I get you. It's only one game, but I like I said, because last week, we were talking about like, can we good? And obviously the conversation last week was like, you could be a good player, but then you also question like, but even then you're starting to question like, man, I don't know. Like, he still needs to prove that he could be a good player. Like, is he, like, because he's still a rookie, still hasn't flashed enough. You know, obviously he's not as productive as you would want to be, especially a guy that you picked at number 6 overall. But like I said, I think I felt like he's flashed enough to say that he's good enough to be a good player. But also, I think that I don't think the door is shut on him being a great player. I don't think the door is shut on him. I think that's where the difference between now. Can that shut for me at some point?
I don't think the door is. So I don't want to say the door is shut for me. I don't think he'll ever be more than a good player. I'm not gonna say the door is shut, like where he can't ever be. I just don't think he ever will be. Now you can think he can be, or not think he can be. There's a possibility that he can be. I don't think he will be, but you can think he will be. I just don't think he will be.
All right, man. We'll see, man. But we're not done, man. We got another notable, quotable. What we got, man?
Yeah, we got we all know Todd McShay. You know, he used to be with ESPN. He was Mel Kiper's right hand man for the longest time. He has his own podcast, and today they got into they were giving out awards for players at each position, and doing so, you know, him and his co-host, they got to talking about Dante Moore. And I know right now the discussion is who would be the number 1 overall pick. Would it be Fernando Mendoza or would it be Dante Moore should he declare? And Tom McShay's been doing this a very long time, and he made some very interesting comments about Dante Moore. Him and his co-host actually. So I have more. You want to try it, or you want me to just do it again on my end?
Nah, go ahead and do your thing.
All right, so here we go. It's Todd McShay on Dante Moore.
I'll tell you why and tell me if this is crazy.
Do it, and I would bring you as my top lieutenant. If someone were to call me tomorrow and say, hey, walk away from the McShay show, come be the general manager, here's the money, here's the setup, here's the guarantees of 5-6 years, all of that. And I had to do it, and I would bring you as my top lieutenant bench. Which is actually true. I would, and it's actually not that far off of reality, which is scary. I would, I've had some weird calls recently. I would, college and NFL. And if that team needed a quarterback, okay? I would recognize Mendoza and where he is and what he can be and say it's really good, and I don't have a problem with him. I would bet my first major decision on Dante Moore. Isn't that crazy?
It's not that crazy, and I'll tell you why and tell me if this is crazy. When I see Dante Moore play, I want to know what he weighs. I think he's a little lean. We're just talking about, I'm not nitpicking here. I'm not trying to be like, this is a major deal. But if he was a little thicker, you know who he kind of reminds me of is Justin Herbert and Drake May. I see those things.
First of all, pause on that comment right there. My guy. Keep this. It's a family show.
No,
but obviously you hear Tom McShay, say he acknowledges Mendoza. So it's not like he's talking about this in a vacuum, right? He acknowledges Mendoza is there as an option, but he said he would bet his future on Dante Moore on that decision. And I think, that says a lot. And, I've been saying for years now, I just think Dante Moore is just there aren't too many guys that come around like that. And it's taking nothing away from Fernando Mendoza. I think he'll be a good player. I think he'll be a good player for a long time. I think he's very safe as a pick. But if you're going to do something, I'm swinging for the fences. And I think Dante Moore is a swing for the fences type of player.
It's just, he's just riskier. He's a little bit more riskier than Mendoza. And then also I got to look at it from a risk reward standpoint. What am I going to get? What's the reward to Dante Moore?
All right, time out real quick. Bro, Derek Carter, knock that nonsense off, bro. It's ball talk. If you can't take somebody criticizing a player, you can kick rocks. Like I don't play this little childish like go somewhere with that nonsense, bro. Like I don't got time for it. If you can't take a player criticizing a player on his favorite team, then this ain't the show for you, bro. Sorry. Bye. Go ahead, man. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all good, man. You gotta keep it at the end of the day, man. We gotta keep it respectful at the end of the day. So if it got to that point, though, you gotta let people know for sure. But yeah, my thing with Dante Moore is just that he's a little bit more riskier than Mendoza. And you mentioned it by saying that Mendoza is the safer guy. And the biggest issue in the NFL right now, or it's been a while, and this is to Tom Brady's point. I mean, Tom Brady, when he's speaking on this, it's not like he's lying. It's just I don't know what his solution is to it. But you could probably make an argument. The solution is to probably go with a more safer option, a guy that's more ready to play. Now, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I like traits. But what's the risk and reward with Dante Moore? I know the risk is he's a guy that obviously, the clip that we just played, he's a little lean. If you want to nitpick, taking a guy early, we're gonna nitpick, right? He's a little lean. We're already seeing Jaden Daniels, who was questioned about him being, not as heavier as you would want him at the quarterback position. And he's hurt in his second year, and he had a lot of injury to deal with. Hopefully, he'll be good for the rest of his career. But we've seen quarterbacks who are kind of smallish, don't have like that. They don't have that that mass on them. And then at the end of the day, like injuries has kind of been an issue. Like guys like Michael Vick, right? We think about guys like Michael Vick, exciting, great talents at quarterback, but they've gotten hurt because they're not really that big, right? And the thing is, Jaden Daniels like what, 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah.
But is he 200 pounds?
Yeah.
Is he even 200 pounds? Maybe.
I think he is. I think he's like 210, something like that. He's super lean. He's super lean.
Super lean, right? And I kind of put I think Dante Moore is around like 205 right now. Yeah. Nitpicking. Another thing, the biggest I would say for me, the biggest thing is it's not even that. The biggest thing I should just go ahead and talk about it is his experience. Like I don't think experience is the end all be all, because there is no like, all right, if you have 60 plus starts, that means you're going to be a guaranteed Hall of Famer. That's not how it works. But I think there is a threshold, and if he enters the NFL this year, he's going to have less than 20 starts in his career. And if that's the case, we can easily go look at the quarterback's last 10 years. And we've talked about it on the show. The list isn't that great. You know what I mean? You got the Mitchell Trubisky's, you got the Anthony Richardsons, Mac Jones, who, you know what I mean? It doesn't look too bad right now, I guess, coming in relief for, this year in San Francisco. But look how long it took for him to look at his journey at quarterback. I would say probably the best quarterback with less than 20 starts might have been Kyle Murray.
Yeah.
Might have been Kyle Murray, but even him, like, he's kind of been, shaky as far as the Cardinals are ready to move on from Kyle Murray.
Yeah.
But anyways, my point is that like you got all this, right? You got all this, plus the NFL has a developmental problem. They don't want to develop quarterbacks. They're not patient enough to develop quarterbacks. So you already know when you draft a 20-year-old quarterback who doesn't have the experience, it's gonna be some growing pains, especially coming from Oregon. There's gonna be a transition to the NFL, the offense too as well. So it's gonna be a little bit. So are the Raiders, now if you're a Raider fan, and if you got to be honest, are the Raiders gonna be patient enough at quarterback to let him develop? And then all right, so I'm thinking about the risk. Okay, that's the risk. So what's the reward? Dante Moore, what's his ceiling? We've said it multiple times. We compared him to who? CJ Stroud. That's the comparison. That's the common comparison that a lot of people, you said, I heard you mention it. His game is more CJ Stroud. It's just like, what. And then I'm looking at CJ.
I've said 3 people. So that's not just one person. I've said 3 people.
Okay, CJ Stroud and who else?
I've said CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, and Joe Burrow. Those are 3 people.
Joe Burrow, man, I don't know about Joe Burrow, but if he's Joe Burrow, then
when CJ Stroud was coming out, who they compared him to? Joe Burrow. The difference between CJ Stroud and Joe Burrow is that Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and the offensive head coach.
How is Dante Moore handle pressure? Because I know that he has a great offensive line with Oregon. So there's a question there. There's a little bit of like, how's he handle pressure too? But you know what? Look,
Fernando Mendoza has a great offensive line too. I mean, but it's like.
But you could give examples of how he's handled pressure. Like you can see him.
But like we've seen Dante Moore get out the pocket, create, and throw on the run. And I think throwing on the run, he's a better thrower on the run, like moving left and moving right than Fernando Mendoza is. So if that's the question, then he checks that box there. If you mean just like taking big hits, I mean, he just turned 20 this year, so he's still, a few years younger than Fernando Mendoza. Like, look at the body frame and all that stuff. Like, he's not even in his grown man body yet. So all his athletic traits right now are going to get better. His arm is going to get stronger. He's going to get faster. He's going to get bigger as a player. And he already has the poise and maturity. So, like, look at all those guys that have less than 20 starts. They all have flaws. Like, he's already more talented, just talent-wise, than Mac Jones. He's already more mature, more poised than Kyler Murray ever dreamed. Kyler Murray has all the talent in the world, but he's missing that other piece. So, like the pitfalls that befell these other players, he doesn't necessarily have those. Like, what you worry about him is getting him in the right situation to actually develop and giving him that time to become a man and kind of grow into that body. But I think he can still come in year one and still be a good player. But I just think his ceiling from there just goes up exponentially.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. I mean, how old is Mendoza? Like 22? 22?
Yeah, I want to say 22.
20.
So he's not old either. So I don't want to take it. He can still grow as well.
Yeah.
He's more of a finished product.
Yeah, like he's more like ready to play. You can see him contribute year one. Like you can see him. Yeah. You can see him be productive year one. How productive? I don't know. It depends on the situation. But there's an echo. Ah, damn.
A little bit.
There's an echo. All right. Let's see.
Maybe on your end. I don't hear it,
but let me know. Is there an echo? Ah, damn. My bad. Let me Damn. I'm gonna have to. What did I do last time? Because I had to set this up. But let me fix this real quick, man. I appreciate it. Do y'all still hear an echo?
Is it me or is it Pharaoh?
I think it's probably me. It's probably me. Because I know Yaya and appreciate you saying that, my mic you weren't hearing.
It did. The sound did switch at one point.
You can hear this though? You can hear the tap?
Yeah, but it's not coming from that.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know if you guys are hearing the echo. No, I might have to change it up. Let's see.
Yeah, I think Burrow throws. I think he throws a more accurate ball. Burrow does. But I think Stroud has the better, stronger arm, if he would. But he also has Nico Collins who has a drop problem. So I'm echoing.
Okay. Oh damn. All right, man. My bad, y'all. Because I kind of adjusted the sound, and I think that's when it started happening. How about now? I just changed it up right now.
Check it.
Check. Severe still echoing? Just let us know. Let us know. Still echoing. No, but what I was saying is that like my point with Dante Moore, because you make a point that he's 20 years old, so there's a lot of like room for growth. His arm could get stronger. He could get heavier. Obviously you get an NFL weight program. He's obviously that there's a little bit of that too, but I'm also looking at it from perspective like a team going to have to be patient with him. You know what I mean? And like we look at Bryce Young after 1 year. They're ready to pull the plug on him. Look at Anthony Richardson, drafted 4th overall. They're like basically like I could see him get traded this offseason. It's a really good chance he gets traded this offseason. Look, like there's a lot of examples of quarterbacks where they weren't patient enough. And Bryce Young, he literally number 1 pick in the draft. A year later. And they literally fired a head coach his first year. So his whole first year was literally a wash. Like, but I'm just saying, like I'm looking at it from that perspective. Like, all right, if you're gonna bring in a quarterback, you're gonna draft a quarterback. What is the plan for him? You know what I mean? And I know Tom Brady is in the building, so I'm hoping like he understands. Like, all right, QB needs time. He said it in the past, so I'm sure he understands that. It's very important, which is good. But also I'm looking at it like, okay, what's the risk and what's the reward? And if you're telling me that the ceiling, like let's say if we had to like get to a happy medium and it's CJ Stroud, I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of, and I guess I'm leaning. I guess maybe this is me just leaning towards. Now, if you told me that, if you told me he had elite traits, if you told me he had more elite traits about him, then I'd be like, oh, okay, it would be a better risk, especially with his experience. Mm-hmm. But that I guess I'm leaning towards more of the safer pick, just because of the Raiders and their just history of developing players, and and just how the NFL is developing the quarterback position. So I feel like Mendoza, who's already checked a lot of boxes, seems like the guy at if he's there at number 1 or whatever if he's there at wherever the Raiders pick.
So let me ask you this. What is Mendoza's? So if we're saying Dante Moore is CJ Stroud, and it depends on what CJ Stroud. You get CJ Stroud as a rookie, but really CJ Stroud, he's won 10 games every year he's been in the league and won a division his first 2 years. So I mean, we sneezing at that like it's nothing, but let's say so. But what is Mendoza then? What is his? What would be his comp?
I think the popular pick for Mendoza is like an athletic Jared Goff.
Okay. And so and then you have to look at, okay, what Jared Goff are you getting? Are you getting pre-McVay Jared Goff? Or are you getting, post-McVay Jared Goff?
Right. But also like,
because they're both Cal guys too.
Yeah. But also like if we had to really just realistically, even though I wasn't the biggest Jared Goff guy, I thought like, he was a product of like Sean McVay, but then he's proved me wrong. I'm not gonna lie. Like he's able to go to a different team, be successful, different. Look, I thought there would be a fall off with Ben Johnson gone. He's still playing well. So, and then you look at Jared Goff, like he went to the Super Bowl with
McVay.
He went with McVay, and obviously he's been successful with the Lions. They went to at least the NFC Championship game, I believe, right? Yeah. So it's not that bad, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not saying this is the greatest, draft class for quarterback. We're just right now we're kind of nitpicking who we should take at number 1, because hopefully the Raiders can pick a quarterback number 1 overall. They got to finish with the number 1 pick, and that starts with losing these next 2 games, which is going to be tough right now. So just to pivot real quick, man, it's a 4-team race right now. 4-team race. It's the Browns, the Giants, the Jets, and the Raiders. right now the Raiders have the highest chance to get the number 1 pick. So if they lose the next 2 games, they got the number 1 pick, guaranteed.
Yeah.
If they lose this week and win against the Chiefs last game of the season, it leaves it up in the air.
Yeah.
But if they lose this week, it's kind of, I think their chances drop extremely, because that Giants would literally be, they would have the number 1 pick at that point.
Are you talking about if the Giants? Oh, if we beat the Giants.
If the Raiders beat the Giants, if the Raiders were going to beat the Giants, then it's like, okay, it's official.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap basically. It's a wrap for the number 1 overall pick.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to play out the scenarios of the last 2 games. Like if they win this week, obviously they're out of it for sure. You can just book it. But if they lose this week and somehow win against the Minshew-less Chiefs, I don't even know who's their starting quarterback.
Oh, I don't even know, bro. To be honest with you, that game, that's the most worrisome game. To be honest with you, that's the most worrisome game. That's the most worrisome one. Like, cause they can realistically win that game, and that would be disgusting. But that could also be Travis Kelce's last game. So the Chiefs are going to want to go out with a bang. But yeah, who is it? Oh, Chris Aludicon? Oh man, he's from South Dakota State. Oh my God, we're in some trouble.
South Dakota State?
Yeah. Oh my God.
And the Chiefs don't have a run game too.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's ugly.
Oh my God. They about to call up Ryan Tannehill. Like we get
the Raiders got to start Cam Miller. They have to.
Donovan McNabb, what you doing? Oh my goodness. But yeah, man, that could be the one thing that messes up. Like I said, man, like Dante Moore's my number 1 guy. I wouldn't be mad at Mendoza because I think he'll be a good player. I think Dante Moore will be a good player too, but I just think the ceiling there is just crazy. But if we mess around and win, if we win the next 2 games, and depending on how everything else breaks, we can fall as low as 7. So, like, we'd be like that would be devastating. That would be devastating.
Yeah, like I don't think there's any chance that the Raiders get out the top 10, but like, to get to that, I'm telling you that 6 to that 7, that number 7 pick is bad luck. I'm not gonna lie, it's bad luck.
Oh yeah.
If we get to the number 7 pick, which is worst case scenario, I think the Raiders will get no lower than the 7th pick.
Yeah, we can't.
Oh, come on, it's bad luck. Like, come on, man. Like, the reason why I say it's bad luck is because you're in an area where like the quarterbacks are gone.
Yeah.
A lot of the best players that you want are going to be gone. Now it's like you're going to be looking at players that are probably going to be really good players, great players even, but they're not going to be of value. Like the Ashton Jeanty's, like, you know what I mean? Like, even though we like Ashton Jeanty, I think he's
Caleb
like
Downs would be like
Caleb Downs. It's just a value thing. This was a value, and I won't be mad at Caleb Downs, but damn, I want Caleb Downs on a trade down. I don't want Caleb Downs with no trade down. It's like, that hurts.
Yeah, I thought this was the case. Yeah, number 7 overall for the Raiders has been Michael Huff and Tyree Wilson.
Oh man, that's terrible.
Oh yeah, so
Sheesh.
yeah.
That's bad, man.
Yeah,
that is terrible. But yeah, do we have any more notable quotables?
Nah, that was it.
Oh yeah, now it's the what's real, what's not, man. Let us know what's real, what's not this week, man.
Facts. So I think the results for the Pro Bowl voting came down today, and the Raiders had 2 representatives. It was Max and Brock Bowers. So usual suspects. Notable quotable for today is, let me get the exact one. Brock Bowers, based on what he did this year, deserves to be a Pro Bowler. Brock Bowers, based on what he did this year, deserves to be a Pro Bowler.
Let me look at his numbers. Let me look at it before I speak on this. I want to see his numbers right now because I know he missed some games, so I already know it's gonna be a little. There's gonna be a little effect to it, but let me see. Bowers. Apparently, you can't just type in Bowers and his name's not gonna pop up. Okay, for sure. All right. So Brock Bowers this year. Let's see. He has 64 catches, 680 yards, 7 touchdowns, career high in his second year. He had 5 touchdowns last year. He had 7 touchdowns and counting. So he might end up getting to possibly 10 chance.
Possibly.
Which is a good number. Which is a good number for him. Like 10 touchdowns. You get to that 10 touchdown range. I think that's a good number for any like. If you get to 8 plus, if you get to 8, I'm not gonna lie. That's just it's solid. Solid. Now let me look at the top tight ends. Who did he beat out? Because I know there's some other guys. There's the Tyler Warrens who's a rookie.
Yeah.
I know he's been talked about being super productive this year. You got let's see. Dalton Kincaid, I think he's been hurt though a little bit. So give me a tight end so I can compare them.
I think the 2 guys you would have to look at would be Tyler Warren and be Harold Fanning Jr.
So both are rookies.
Both are rookies, yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, Brock made it as rookie. I mean, we can go.
Yeah, but you're just basing on production.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking at Harold Fanning Jr.'s stats here. For some reason it's not popping up here, but okay, I'll just do it. I'll just go into this page. Harold Fanning Jr., tight end. So he's tight end for the Browns, who I'm not gonna lie, he's every time I've seen him play. So he has 70 catches for 701 yards, 5 touchdowns. Interesting. All right. So who's the other guy? I think Tyler Warren might have better numbers.
Tyler Warren.
He probably has better numbers because it's better offense.
Yeah.
I'm sure he got better numbers. I don't think anybody else. Maybe Mark Andrews, has he had a big year? You know, I think he got a big contract, so I'm sure he.
I think they've been struggling though. That's the only thing. I think the Ravens have been struggling this year.
So Tyler Warren has 66 catches, 748 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Okay. So both more yardage, but neither one of them more touchdowns.
Right, and definitely less games. Bowers got the numbers in less games.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm going Brock Bowers. I'm gonna be biased here. I'm gonna be a little biased here, but I'm also.
But we gotta look at. I don't think Harold Fanning's been a starter all year either, because it was David Njoku.
Okay, but you brought up his name like he was like, you know.
Yeah, but I'm saying. So we're talking about the amount of games played. I don't think Fanning wasn't the starter to begin the year. I think it was Njoku.
Okay. But I still would probably lean towards Brock.
Yeah.
I probably I could understand why Brock would have got it over them. So
I mean,
it's not like oh man, I can't believe that Brock went over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah.
You know, like the numbers weren't too crazy enough for me to be like, oh, okay. You know, they should go with a Tyler Warren that has like what more, like 100 yards more in total yards as far as receiving, but less touchdowns. And then with Harold Fannin, it was less touchdowns and I think less yards, but more catches. 680. So I think maybe like probably 30 or 40 more yards.
Yeah, what's it called? Yeah, Fanning got him by. Yeah,
I'll look. I'm gonna look Mark Andrews. Let me see what Mark Andrews did because I know he got a big contract this year. So I'm thinking like he must have been balling for them to give him an extension in the middle of the year. So let's see. This year, damn, he got 42 catches and 380 yards, and they gave him a contract.
Yeah.
He must be a good person in that building. He must be a humanitarian.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think Brock Bowers is gonna be a tight end. He's gonna be a Pro Bowler probably every year of his career.
Probably. I mean, this year I wouldn't have gave it to him. I would probably gave it to Fannin or Warren. To be honest with you. But I don't think it's like a robbery or anything like that. I just think they were more deserving of it this year. That doesn't mean they're better players. They're going to be better players. They're not better players. Likely won't be better players than him. But I just think this year, I think they're more deserving of it.
All right.
Either one of them. It could be Hannah or Fannin. It could be Tyler Warren. It could be either one of them. I just think they were more deserving of it this year. And Pro Bowl is a year-by-year award. So.
Yeah, my bad, y'all. I think you guys are saying the volume is yeah, man, my bad, bro. My bad. I know my volume is
yours is mine.
It's the audio issues. We gonna clean it up. Don't worry. We gonna clean it up.
Salute to my guy Dub Raider in the house.
Salute, man. Appreciate everybody pulling up. Salute to my guy Dub Raider. If you guys haven't already, make sure to head over to his YouTube channel and subscribe to Dub Raider on YouTube and follow him all over platforms. Appreciate you coming through. And if you guys haven't already, make sure to click in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I'm gonna say it's real. So I guess I'm gonna say it's real. It's real. Yeah. I think Brock Bowers deserved to get the Pro Bowl. He's just the best tight end, and I don't think the competition like really showed him up enough for it to say, oh well, it should have been this guy or that guy or whatever the case may be. Like I think Brock was like an easy decision for because the voting is a combination of fans and the players.
Yeah, exactly. That's like he has name recognition, so that's part of the reason why he got it. I'm sure he wanted, but I'm sure the players voted him in too. But I'm sure he overwhelmingly got the fan vote.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it. And then do we have another? What's that?
Now that was it.
All right.
What did you say Brock was at? What did you say Brock was at in terms of yards?
Let me pull that back up.
So like 680, right?
No, that was
because Harold Fannin was like 700 something.
No. So Tyler Warren was 748, 4 touchdowns, and then Harold Fannin was 680.
Oh, that's not updated because he's like 700 something. I want to say. I thought he's 700 something.
On Pro Football. Pro Football Reference is pretty accurate.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He has 701 yards, so 70 receptions, 701 yards, and 70.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So Brock Bowers had 64 catches for 680 yards. So he had 20 yards more than him, and 6 more catches. But Brock has 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think that's where. Yeah. So like I said, I can't get mad at it giving it to Brock.
Yeah.
I would have gave it to Fannin or Warren, but yeah, Brock is Brock. He has that. But now I was gonna bring up was I know we always talk about George Kittle and Brock Bowers. How many yards do you think George Kittle went for in his second year?
Probably what, 1,000?
1,377.
Two.
And only 5 touchdowns though.
But I will say this, man. I will say this, and this is why I'm like so bullish on Brock Bowers and how great he is as a player. It's because everything around him is just all over the place. Quarterback, coaching staff, the players, the offensive system. It's just everything. But he's still Brock Bowers. He's still making plays where he'd be like, damn, like, where it makes you think. And Greg Kittle has been in Kyle Shanahan's offensive system. Great player, but he also has benefited from being in that offensive system for the majority of his career, being one of the best play callers, offenses, like best play caller in the NFL, one of the best play callers in the NFL. Like I think 1 year everybody was calling him the best play caller, but I mean you can go back and forth with him and O'Connell and McVay and you know what I mean. But I mean this year a lot of people are talking about him probably being a coach of the year candidate, especially the way he got the 49ers competing this year with all the injuries they had to deal with. But that being said, I'm just saying like he's been able to play with a franchise and a coaching staff that's been consistent from day one. And Brock Bowers hasn't really had that.
Well, I bring that up for two reasons. Well, so first of all, we're just comparing their second year, so it's not like he'd only been in the offense for 1 year prior. So, like that's not like it's not apples to it's not like he's like we're comparing him in year 8 to like Brock in year 2. Just like year 2 to year 2. So he was in the system for 1 year at that point. Secondly, I will say that his quarterbacks that year were Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard. So not like he was like some he was getting passes from some like Pro Bowl like perennial guy. But the more important point I wanted to make is that he was able to produce that kind of yardage. And you know who his passing game coordinator was that year? Mike LaFleur. So wouldn't it be nice to get that guy over here? If he can do that with CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins, and George Kittle, imagine what he could do with a young quarterback in Brock Bowers.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at it, man. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be mad at an offensive head coach, no matter who it is. Mike LaFleur, I mean, McVay coaching tree. I mean, that's a good risk.
Yeah, but he was working for Shanahan back then. That's my point. He was the passing game coordinator under Shanahan.
Yeah.
So he was like, he's got that experience, and he got damn near 1,400 yards out of George Kittle year 2 with Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard. So you get him over here and give him a guy like Brock.
Yeah. The only thing is that like, are you tired of this zone blocking scheme, or do you want to at least like? Do you want to pivot a little bit, or at least like kind of go into a place of like where it's a combination of the two? Because when you talk about the Sean McVays and the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree, they're gonna bring the zone blocking, and I'm not gonna lie, like I just want to get it back to, I want to have an offseason where the coaching staff talks to the running back and be like, what plays you want to run? You know what I mean? Oh, you want power gap?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a guy like, we talked about this too. We're like, and we had Marcus on here from Tape Don't Lie, and he was just like, man, like a guy like Jeanty, he would be a better fit in a power blocking scheme.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I saw from Jeanty this past game, from the plays I saw, was that he looked like he was being more decisive. And that's one thing about a running back is that, you can't be back there tiptoeing and pity-patting and, like you got to just be decisive. You got to make your decision and then, adapt to that decision once you make it. But you can't be back there, jumping around. And that's something, and he was effective this game, partly but just because he was decisive. So I think he can work in his own scheme. Because we see what the Rams are able to do with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. Like neither one of those guys were, super high picks. So I think they and San Francisco, even when Christian McCaffrey was getting hurt. No matter what running back they were putting there. When they had Raheem Mostert, or when they had the Elliott kid, or where they had the other guy, I forget his name. Like, all those backs were being productive, even when Christian McCaffrey wasn't there. So like, they're able to get production out of lesser backs. Remember the Broncos, every year they were churning out 1,000-yard rushers, Olindis Gary and Mike Anderson, and like, all these guys were being productive in that system. Obviously, the NFL is different now, but you can be productive in that system. You just have to find the right combination of guys up front. And, you know, everybody has to be on the same page, from your offensive lineman to your running back to your play caller. Like, all you guys got to be on the same page. So if we can get to that space, I think his zone blocking system can work for him.
Yeah, man. I hope, man. And I think I know you mentioned that, like, he also was more decisive, but also I would say, like, the offensive line, I think, played better. They weren't perfect.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did too. Yeah,
they weren't perfect, but they definitely played better. So I think if we can improve the offensive line and have them play a little bit more consistent, if they can go, like, we thought it couldn't get any worse from last year. We're like, oh, it can't get any worse. You know, they're not. They can't be any worse. They're not going to get any worse from year before. It's just, but it got worse.
Yeah.
And so hopefully this offseason they'll, you know, like I said, they'll be aggressive in upgrading the offensive line. If they can get it to above average, that would be the goal, above average, but no less than average. Either way, that would be an improvement from the last couple of years. So, and if we can get to that point, then a guy like Jeanty, if he's as talented as we think he should be, then he should be able to take advantage of an average offensive line, or a good or above average offensive line. No question. Yeah. So, and if he can't take advantage of that, then we need to start having a different conversation.
Facts.
But, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. Great show, great conversation. Make sure to clock in. At this point, clock out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Yeah, man, the show will continue, or the conversation will continue later this week around the Shield. Check us out this Thursday. Don't miss it. Hopefully we'll have a guest this week, and we'll be able to continue the conversation. McCaffrey carry that team. You know,
I didn't say McCaffrey wasn't a kid. This year I didn't say he wasn't carrying his team, but I was saying they've gotten production out of other running backs when he's been hurt.
I mean, historically speaking, they've gotten production out of like a lot of running backs. Like,
exactly.
McCaffrey's a special talent, but they also don't get it twisted. Like, how many running backs have we seen gone through that were coached under Kyle Shanahan and were productive? Like, from the Mosterts, from the, you know what I mean, Jordan Masons, who,
yeah,
you know what I mean. What is he doing with the Vikings? I don't know if he's doing anything with the Vikings, to be honest.
Sitting behind Dalvin Cook.
Damn. All right, man. Hey, look, man. Severe, man, let the people know where they can find you, what to look forward to, all that good stuff.
You guys know what it is. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, X, IG, all social media. The Severe Raider. Sundays and Wednesdays, the Raider War Room. We did the Raider War Room earlier today. You know, dropped some film, so you guys go check that out. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, with my guy PharoahNFL, Around the Shield and the 50-50 show. We'll let you guys know, what's going to go on with the Around the Shield for this week. Make sure y'all tap in, hit the like button, make sure you hype the video, hit the notification bell so y'all get notified when we drop a video. Just don't rely on YouTube to let y'all know. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you actually know. And yeah, man, just stay tuned, man. And Merry Christmas to everybody that celebrates.
Yes, sir. Happy holidays to everybody. Now, I want to say this one thing too, man. Hey, look, I'm letting y'all know, man, I'm looking at the draft heavy right now. I'm looking at any player that can help the Raiders. So this is going to be the conversation that's going to be ongoing. So just to y'all, hopefully y'all keep an open mind. Obviously, there's only 2 games left at this point, but hey, man, this is our Super Bowl. It's the Raiders offseason, man. This is the most exciting part. Like, we're going to look at all the possibilities of what could possibly happen with this team. So definitely tune in for the shows. It's only going to get better. And we're going to be looking at free agency. We're going to be looking at the draft. We're going to look at coaches too. We haven't really had a conversation of, because it hasn't happened yet. We know it's coming. We feel like it's a good chance it's coming, but we know. But once we're there, I guess we'll probably know we'll have a better conversation about who the possibilities are. I know you mentioned like Mike LaFleur could possibly be an option.
Wish.
Clint Kubiak kind of scares me a little bit.
Yeah. Because New Orleans.
It's not even just that. I want a coach candidate that can develop a good running game, but also can develop the quarterback position. So I'm looking like Joe Brady. I like that he's developed a good run game with the Buffalo Bills. But then there's a question with him, like, he has Josh Allen. I mean,
yeah.
And then before that, you know, he was with the Carolina Panthers. Like, you know, it's just you don't really know. But the weapons they have in Buffalo are kind of similar to the Raiders. You know, they got a tight end, they got a running back, slot receiver. You know what I mean? Like the receivers ain't really that good. That's actually been a problem for them. So there's that. Clint Kubiak, his pass game is good, but I don't know if his run game. I don't know if I don't know if it's personnel, it's a talent issue, whatever. But I think it's
a little bit of both. Yeah.
They like the Raiders need to make sure like whoever they get can develop the quarterback position, because if they're going to draft a quarterback early or in this draft, and then obviously you drafted a running back at number 6 overall. Come on, you know, do I have to say any more? Like you got to make sure like that's incorporated.
Exactly.
Plans, including Brock Bowers, but Brock Bowers is like,
yeah,
I'm not even. He's so great that I don't even like. How can you?
You don't worry about him. You don't worry about him. He's going to be productive regardless.
Exactly. So yeah, hey, definitely tune in for Round the Shield later this week. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. It's your first time joining us. Subscribe. We're going live on both our channels. We do that often every week, so definitely subscribe to both channels. If you haven't already, on the way out, clock in, or at this point clock out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and then also follow us all over social media on Around the Shield, both at X and IG, and then we have our personal pages too. If you want to give us a follow there, and then if you guys want to give us any type of give us input on we said earlier in the show, like if flags on a play, any things that you want to have
quotables, what's real, what's not.
Send us our way, man. It's gonna be helpful, and we're gonna shout you out too, by the way. So anything will help. And I think any last things before we head out. I think I was gonna say something about I think that's pretty much it. I mean, do you have any last thoughts before we head out?
No, sir, man. Like, let's see. And I know everybody's kind of worried about what we did against Houston, thinking we might win these last few games. I actually think this was a trap game for Houston. I think they kind of overlooked us, and I think we will regress as a team. Hopefully, Jeanty doesn't regress. Hopefully, he puts in or not. Hopefully, none of the young guys regress. But I think we will regress performance wise, and I think we will. I think we'll lose for sure this Giants game. The Chiefs game, that's another story.
Man, I hope they. I'm just at this point, like, I've seen enough. I just don't do anything to scare me that y'all gonna win a meaningless game. Like, I don't want to see none of that. Like, I like, in a perfect world, I want to see the young players flash, but then they'll lose the game. But if I had to choose which one I want to see, to be honest with you, I want to see them lose so they can get that number 1 pick.
Exactly.
I'm keep it real. Like, I'm done with this coaching staff. I'm done with everything. So
you're like, F y'all flashing. I'm trying to get this pick.
I'm cool. I'm good, man. I've seen enough, man. I'm like, okay, we already see what we need to see. But yeah, man, we'll see y'all on Thursday, man. Around the Shield, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace. Oh, damn, I forgot.